We have Cindy and Amanda from Prosum Roasters. Again, these guys are a new coffee sponsor. And let's go ahead and give a big round of applause for our coffee sponsor, guys. All right, and I'll go ahead and hand it off.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for hosting us. We're really, really thrilled to be here. And I'm sure you've noticed already, we've got coffee set up in the back. If you want sort of a look into what my daily caffeine intake is like, what I want you to do is take a sip of coffee every time Cindy makes a pun, and you'll leave kind of like as caffeinated as I am on a daily basis. So we'll go ahead and get started. My name's Amanda, and this is Cindy, and we're with Prosum Roasters. And if you haven't heard of us before, we are an Albuquerque-based specialty coffee roastery. We're located in the industrial district off of Carlisle and Candelaria. And we get a lot of questions. One of the main questions I get a lot is, what does prosum mean? Or people will pronounce it prosum or possum. It's prosum. And it's a Latin phrase, actually. And that's sort of where we get our mission statement. Prosum means to do good, to benefit, or be useful. And so we really try to let those tenets guide us in our business. And so it's not a charity or nonprofit. What it actually is we've built giving back into our business model. And so what that means for us is basically just leaving the world better than when we found it. And we do that in a variety of ways. The chief among them is direct trade practices. So that means that we've kind of cut out the middlemen with our coffee farmers. And it means that we're able to offer a specialty product at a lower price. And it also means that the bulk of our profit gets passed on to the farmer where it belongs. The other tenet of Prosum is being involved in community projects. We partner with our farmers and importers around the world. And in the past, we've participated in programs like a literacy program in Central and South America. We've supplied girls in Africa with feminine hygiene products, and we're currently working on a clean water project in Ethiopia, which we'll talk more about later.
Hi, I'm Cindy Moffitt. As Amanda said, I'm the owner and founder of Prosum Roasters. To give you a little bit of idea of our history, first of all, coffee's always been my shtick. I've loved coffee. I've been a home roaster for over 10 years, acquired quite a bit of coffee gadgetry in my kitchen, and it's always been my passion. Professionally, I used to be a financial analyst. I'm from Washington State. I used to work for Amazon.com up there. Down here in Albuquerque, I worked for Albuquerque. I worked with great people, but the work itself was a little unfulfilling. And so I was one day perusing the internet looking for a new source of green coffee, which is what you call unroasted coffee. And I stumbled onto this website out in New York City where they were talking about their procurement model being socially responsible and ethical. And I recognized the green coffee buyer. He actually was my prom date in high school. So I called him and wanted to know if he sold green coffee to home roasters. They didn't. They kept it pretty much at a commercial level. But through that reconnection, we just started talking. I told him I was looking to do something else. I'd always wanted to do something a little entrepreneurial. And he said, hey, before you check the corporate gig, why don't you come with me on a green coffee buying trip so you can see what the industry is like from the inside out. So I did. So I bought a plane ticket. I went to Central America with him, and on that trip is when Prosum was born. It was fantastic. We were meeting with some farmers in Chiapas, Mexico. We knew the price that we could pay for coffee. They wanted their patios repaved as well as some pre-financing for the harvest, and we realized that we were able to give them the asking price they wanted for their coffee, plus the pre-financing, plus repaving the patio, and still hit the budgetary number for what to pay for coffee. And that's what I call a win-win-win. It's amazing to see. I went to business school back in the early 90s. Let me date myself here. And that was still when corporate greed was good. And so it's interesting to see that it doesn't have to be ruthless capitalism. You can build these relationships, get a really high quality product, knowing at the same time that you are doing business in a responsible manner that allows you to sleep at night. I took that trip in January of 2014, and Prosum Roasters was open in August of 2014. So that's a little bit about our history. Let me forward the slides here. These are pictures of some of my coffee buying trips that you're going to see back behind here. Let me tell you about Prosum and where we're at now. We currently have 5 employees. I am the CEO and the accountant slash financial analyst slash everything that has to do with money. My importer is Matt Fury. I believe you guys met him probably about 2 weeks ago when we got to talk about the fact that we're doing the coffee sponsor here. He's also in charge of operations. We have a roaster. Her name is Jordan. And we have a barista who also is our education czar, as we like to call him, and he's also a new daddy. His wife had a baby last night, so we've had an exciting day at Prosum yesterday. And then this is Amanda, and she's in charge of our sales and customer service.
And so what we currently do is, like I said, we're situated in the industrial district off of Carlisle and Candelaria. We're open from about 6:30 in the morning until 12:30 in the afternoon. We really would love for you guys to come visit. If you want a cup of coffee, we've got a full espresso bar and like the aforementioned coffee gadgets, so we can do any kind of manual brewing method. We'd love for you to come in and meet our roaster and learn more about the whole process, what it takes to get from a plant across the world into a cup in your hands. And what a lot of people are sort of surprised to learn when they come in, or what they're sort of shocked is there's no Wi-Fi and there's none of that ubiquitous overstuffed seating. That's because our first love and our main priority is serving the cafes and restaurants that we roast coffee for. So we're also, that's kind of our main thing is supplying coffee shops. Like Humble Coffee is one of our customers. If you've ever had a latte there, that was from us. But we're always looking to add businesses to that list. And keep slicing through photos. Do you want to go back for a second? This is our all-time favorite picture, if you guys can see it. This is in Ethiopia. In a hut, and every time coffee is served, there's a ceremony, and the ceremony was crashed by this donkey, and it's just kind of our group favorite photo, so I had to interrupt. Here we go.
To give you an idea about what Prosum's future is, first of all, really we want to bring specialty coffee to the masses. I think you'll probably might be aware that there's a trend in America here that basically end consumers like us are no longer willing to settle for gas station quality coffee. You can see even in like McDonald's, I was at a Circle K the other day and they came in and said, try our special Rwandan estate coffee. So basically, I'll call them non-traditional coffee customers, are now looking to serve a really excellent cup of coffee. So for us, not only do we want to grow the wholesale business here in Albuquerque, but we also want to start going after some of these non-traditional coffee consumers. We also would like to start carrying our products in grocery stores, as well as maybe some other route to market that are similar like that, where they just sell our bagged beans. We would also really like to open additional roasteries in different states. Again, focusing on wholesale, probably having an espresso bar, not really delving into the retail. Our espresso bar is actually kind of our mad scientist laboratory. That's where we usually break in all of our blends, break in our customers' blends, do a lot of specialization if somebody would like that. And also, ultimately, we would like to start our own importing business. And that, I think, will be beneficial for us because not only will it promote our differentiation, which is direct trade. As far as I know, we're the only people in the whole state of New Mexico who actually travel the world, know their coffee farmers, and make sure that it's ethically sourced. But two, it will also secure our supply chain.
And so one of the reasons why we wanted to reach out to the 1 Million Cups community is those are some of our long-term goals, but in the short term, we're looking to sponsor an event this upcoming June that will center around our clean water project in Ethiopia. And a little bit about that is when coffee is processed, it comes in a cherry fruit, and it can sit in these fermentation tanks, and that gray water, unfortunately, is being reintroduced into the environment in Ethiopia. And so it's not that Ethiopia Ethiopia has bad water to begin with. We're going to clean up the mess that the coffee industry has left behind. And so our dream next month is to partner with other coffee entities, other roasteries, cafes, and get them to sell Ethiopian coffee for that day with awareness and financial support in mind. And so we're reaching out to you all today. If you have any ideas for this event, how can we best collaborate with other coffee entities, but also if there are other businesses that would be interested in being a part of supporting a clean water project, we're really all ears for those ideas and advice.
Another thing, now that you guys have had a chance to kind of percolate on our business model here, is another thing that we would like as an ask from you guys is, our differentiation. Again, it's the direct trade, it's the ethically sourced coffee, it's the sustainability of providing farmers what they deserve as a coffee producer. And we are struggling with how do we make that important to people. I think people will vote with their pocketbooks if they know, but how do we, if anybody has any grand ideas on really how to promote that in a way that's been successful, because that's an area we're really struggling in.